pretty bold to call your town the home of champions. But E10 in Kenya has the speed to back it up. Kenyan runners have dominated the marathon for decades. And for most, E10 is where they hone their super skills.
What if I told you, you don't need 1 hour in the gym, you don't need a marathon, you don't even need motivation. Just 10 minutes of running a day can rewire your body, your mind, and your life. I've studied how elite athletes train. Olympic runners, endurance champions, high-performance performers, and surprisingly, their biggest secret isn't intensity, it's consistency, done right. But here's the catch. Most people who start running quit within 2 weeks. Not because running is hard, but because they're doing it completely wrong. Let's fix that. In modern life, we sit too much, think too much, and move too little. Running is the simplest biological reset. Just 5 to 10 minutes a day can reduce risk of heart disease, improve mood instantly, boost energy and focus, even improve sleep quality. But here's what's fascinating. Elite athletes don't run for health. They run for adaptation. And your body, it responds the same way. You don't need elite training, you need elite principles. Simplified. Most beginners treat running like a test. They go all in, push too hard, get exhausted or injured, and then they stop. Elite athletes never do this. They follow one rule: progress slowly, stay consistent. There's something called the 10% rule. Never increase your intensity or duration too quickly because your muscles adapt fast, but your joints and tendons much slower. That's where injuries happen. Let me give you a system that actually works. Step 1. Start ridiculously small. Day 1. Run 30 seconds, walk 1 minute, repeat for 10 minutes. That's it, no pressure, no ego. Step 2. Build rhythm, not speed. Focus on light steps, relaxed shoulders, slide forward, lean. Elite runners don't push harder, they move more efficiently. Step 3. Upgrade slowly. After 1 to 2 weeks, increase running time slightly, not drastically, just enough to improve. Step 4. Make it daily, but flexible. Some days fast, some days slow, some days just a light jog. Consistency beats intensity every time. Here's what elite athletes always do. Dynamic warm-up, not static stretching, high knees, leg swings, light activation, strength training 2 to 3 times per week. Stronger muscles equals protected joints. Proper shoes leads to not expensive, just appropriate. Cadence awareness leads to quicker, lighter steps equals less impact. And most importantly, they listen to their body. Pain is feedback, not weakness.
You train hard, you win easy. Yeah. But you win easy.
Train hard, win easy. There are no shortcuts to greatness. In order to become the fastest, you need to make that your life's mission. Simple as that.
Injury prevention strategies from most effective to least effective. And what I want to do in this video is talk more about the most effective strategies for keeping you healthy, what's actually going to move the needle, and what's kind of a waste of time. But what is not really going to do much for you. Maybe it's marketed as a cure-all, but actually isn't going to be effective at preventing your next big injury. So let's start with what I think is the number one most important thing. It doesn't matter how much recovery you do. It doesn't matter if you get everything else right. If you don't get this right, you're probably going to get hurt. And that strategy is proper training. It means doing mileage levels that are appropriate for you. It means being consistent with mileage levels. It means being consistent with workouts, doing workouts that are appropriate for you, appropriate for your goals. And so we can use proper training to reduce our risk of injury. That if they got 6 hours of sleep for a week, their injury rate increased dramatically compared to the control group that got a more normal amount of sleep of about 8 hours. Being in a calorie deficit has a measurable impact on your ability to recover. And this isn't necessarily even on a daily basis. This is even within a day. So in other words, if you have just a couple hour period where you have low energy availability and your calories aren't up where they need to be, you're going to increase your injury risk because you're not going to be able to recover properly from the run, the workout that you just...
Here's the truth nobody tells you. Running is not about fitness. It's about identity. Elite athletes don't wake up motivated every day. They just show up anyway. That 10-minute run, it's not exercise. It's a signal to your brain. I am someone who takes action. And that mindset spreads into everything else. You don't need perfect conditions. Run in your street, run in your society, run wherever you are. No gym, no excuse.
लोग सोचते हैं कि running is a easy process. वर्ल्ड लेवल एथलीट्स, एलीट एथलीट्स की जो केडेंस होती है वो जनरली 180, 184, 185 पे जाती है। मैंने वर्ल्ड का कोई एथलीट रनर ऐसा नहीं देखा है। इंजरी फ्री और एफिशिएंट रनर, ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है।
It's a race people still talk about, analyze, celebrate. The men's 100-meter sprint at the 2008 Summer Olympics in Beijing. Jamaica's Usain Bolt tearing up the track as he sails over the finish line in world record time. Crowned the world's fastest human, Bolt betters his own mark a year later at the World Championships in Berlin, blazing to victory in 9.58 seconds.
I want, after the London Games, people should say, wow, when they turn their TV off, sit back in their chair for a minute, think about what just happened. And that's what I'm looking forward to. I want to just wow people.
While fans admire his speed and showmanship, it's the biomechanics of Usain Bolt that intrigues mechanical engineers like Annette Hassoy, a professor at MIT who has been supported by the National Science Foundation.
Usain Bolt is unique in that somehow he is able to both get the top acceleration and maintain the top speed.
Bolt is amazing because someone his size isn't expected to move so well and so fast. But the exceptional combination of his size and his strength makes Bolt unlike any champion before him. At 6 feet 5 inches, Bolt is several inches taller than most of his rivals. His longer legs give him a naturally longer stride. Other elite runners average 44 steps to run 100 meters. Bolt averages just 41 steps.
His stride length is enormous, so every time he takes a step, he covers a tremendous amount of ground.
But because he is larger, Bolt has more mass than other sprinters and needs more strength, more force to move his body. With each step, Bolt generates enormous force against the ground. The ground applies that force back, propelling Bolt forward. Bolt moves more mass than other runners, and he moves it faster.
The amount of force that you can give to the ground depends partially on your technique, but mostly on how much strength you have in your muscles.
Bigger muscles generate more force, so Bolt, like all sprinters, trains hard at the track and in the weight room.
I work really hard now because I'm not really a fan of the gym, but you have to do it to get that strength, that power you need to get out of the blocks.
Strength isn't just how big is the muscle, but it's how big is the muscle and how much force can it produce while it's moving.
How the muscles function during motion is part of the research conducted by Samuel Hamner, a mechanical engineer at Stanford University, who has also received support from the National Science Foundation. Hamner collects data in a motion capture room using infrared cameras and sensors and creates dynamic simulations, information that can help treat movement disorders and also help athletes optimize their performance.
If we can understand what the functional roles of these muscles are, it might help Usain Bolt change his training or better understand how he can become faster.
Hamner explains that as Bolt sprints down the track, more than 30 muscles in each leg work together in complex coordination during the 2 phases of the running gait, the stance phase and the flight phase. In the stance phase, Bolt has at least 1 foot on the ground.
When your foot first hits the ground, you're actually slowing down, you're braking your body, and you're using muscles in your thigh, like your quadriceps, to actually slow you down and support your weight while you're coming into contact with the ground. In the second half of the stance phase, you start then accelerating your body forward again, and this time you're using some different muscles, your calf muscles, to push yourself up and accelerate you forward as you then lift off into the flight phase.
In the flight phase, Bolt has both feet off the ground. His hamstring muscles on the back of the thigh pull the leg down before his foot hits the ground again. The flight phase showcases Bolt's superior stride length. He's in the air longer, flying farther with each powerful step.
So there's actually kind of very precise actuation of each of the muscles when you're running. If you're off by a few milliseconds when you're generating these forces, you'll fall over or you'll injure yourself. So it takes precise timing of the electrical signal that comes from your brain to your muscle to create that force.
If Usain Bolt is at his biomechanical best, he could turn in another spectacular time in London's Olympic Stadium.
For me, it's just the strength and the length of my stride and everything comes together, which makes it look so superb.
And when it all comes together, it's a thrilling race to the finish line.
This is the most accessible high-performance habit on the planet. So here's your challenge. For the next 7 days, run for just 10 minutes, not fast, not perfect, just consistent. Because the goal isn't to become a runner, the goal is to become someone who doesn't quit, and that changes everything. If this shifted how you think about fitness, hit subscribe, like and share, because we're breaking down more elite habits that actually work in real life.